Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Zach here with Southern Thunder Harley-Davidson at 4870 Venture Drive, Southaven, Mississippi. And it is an absolute gorgeous February morning. And I've got some really awesome bikes that I'm excited to talk about today. So let's go ahead and cue the intro. Welcome back and check it out. So today with me I've got a 2021 Harley-Davidson Low Rider S, and on the right we've got a 2016 Dyna Low Rider S. So today we're going to kind of go over these two bikes. The reason I chose these is I feel like both of them are the epitome of their frame chassis. Obviously the left one is a Softail and the right one is a Dyna. And we're gonna kind of go over the key differences between the two. Now I wanna start with the 16 here. This is where the Softail Low Rider S kind of got its style from. This is the pioneer, if you will. This one here, the big difference between the two, obviously, your front end is gonna be a lot different and your rear end is gonna be a lot different. Now this one's gonna have some West Coast styling, same for the Softail. The shocks and the front suspension is very different. This is gonna have your conventional style forks, much like what you would see on your Street Bob and some of your other Dynas as well. Same as the Heritage. The difference between a conventional style fork and an inverted setup is that the bulk of your weight is actually up here on your conventional style fork. On your inverted style, the bulk of your weight is going to be down here. Now, each one has its pros and cons. Me personally, I like the inverted setup, but I like it better on this bike right here. This bike has got that raw Harley-Davidson feel, whereas the Milwaukee 8 is refined, it's powerful, it's smooth. Now this bike, some of the extras that have been put on there, it's got the Screamin' Eagle heavy breather, and it's gonna have a TBR 2-in-1 turnout. And as you can see, it's already starting to turn to that bronze look, which looks really, really good on this bike. This is gonna have the premium Dyna shocks that comes factory on this bike. It's gonna have a slightly lighter bronze wheel setup as well, too. The tank badging still has the bronze look to it. It doesn't have the drop down H like the Softail does. I do like the style of the tank on the Softail more than I do on the Dyna. This bike has been equipped with the Ford control kit. Normally it would have had the mids. As you can see, it's had its plug right there, so it no longer has the mid control setup. The guy that rode this was most likely pretty tall. It's gonna have T-bars as well with the MX style on the top. It's equipped with cruise control. It's gonna have the Get-A-Grips, the Harley Get-A-Grip Magnums as well. Those are my favorite grips that you can put on a bike. So with this one, you still retain that classic look. You have the two gauges here on your tank, just like you do on this 21. Now your 2022 and up Low Rider S, the gauge is actually gonna be relocated right here. So, but back to this one here. This bike has 12,716 miles. It's also gonna have the fuel gauge right here and your fill right there, whereas on the Low Rider S Softail, this one's actually a dummy cap, and this is where you fill it up at. You can actually see your fuel levels right here. So, just a little minor difference on that one right there. This one features the Dominion foot pegs and shifter pegs, same for your passenger pegs as well, just to kind of add to that custom look. Now let's go ahead and fire it up. The biggest difference between these two bikes is obviously how they sound. Like I said, this bike has that raw Harley-Davidson sound to it, and that's what I love so much. Now coming over to the Softail here, The Softail is going to have a different style wheel, but it's going to have a darker bronze trim on it. And that's that drop down H that I was telling you about earlier. So just some minor differences with the style, but for the most part, it's pretty much got the same idea. Now this one also features a TBR exhaust system. This one's just the regular 2-in-1 comp system that they have. This one's going to feature the 114 cubic inch Milwaukee 8, completely different style motor. Single cam setup versus the twin. It's also an 8-valve motor, 4 per cylinder, so it's going to have a deeper tone. Now this one's going to feature a solo seat instead of the 2-up seat. The fuel tank size on both of them are exactly the same as well, so you got the 5-gallon tank on this bike as well. Now, instead of having your shocks run on the outside, this has been moved to the Softail platform. So your shock is actually underneath the seat here. Now I love what Harley-Davidson did in 2018 with that suspension setup. It kind of blends the two together. You have the comfortability of a Softail and you have the sport and performance capability of a Dyna. So this bike here is going to have the LED retro style taillight on the back. This one features the lay down plate as well. It doesn't have the billboard on the top. And you have your turn signals on the side there. It's also going to feature the HoldFast docking hardware setup for a passenger backrest. And if you wanted to, you could put a passenger seat on there as well too. This one is featuring 6,533 miles. So lots of mechanical and performance difference between the two. Now normally this Low Rider S here would have a cowl on the front. Looks like the previous owner did a delete on that and just put this little cover over the headlight there to kind of give it that stripped down look. So you're gonna have your LED turn signals up there on your handlebars. Now this one is gonna have kind of a similar style bar setup, not quite as tall as that one. I believe they both actually feature stock, kind of a similar bar setup. I think the risers are actually lower on the Dyna, just like they are on the Softail. This one's gonna have that MX style with the bend in the bar and then your risers here. Now, as I said before, this has got a very refined and powerful exhaust note. The Milwaukee 8 is a very smooth and very powerful power plant. So it is a different feel to the Dyna. If you like the raw Harley-Davidson feel, the Dyna is probably your choice. If you like that refined, exquisite and smooth, powerful power delivery, then I would go with the Softail. Both are absolutely amazing bikes. And as I said before, I feel like both of them are the epitome of their chassis family, whereas the Low Rider S on the Softail platform is the king, and on the Dyna platform, the Low Rider S is still the king. So if you guys want to find out more information about these two bikes, come sit on them and check them out in person. Either come talk to myself or one of my fellow teammates. Be happy to show you around, and I appreciate you guys for watching. Thanks.